Alright, the OnePlus 11 is finally here, and boy, is it the best OnePlus device that I've used in a very long time. I mean, OnePlus has literally worked very hard on improving pretty much every aspect, be the design, the display, the camera, especially, and of course, the battery department too. So, how does it compete against one of its straight up competitors in the form of the Google Pixel 7? Well, we decided to test things out for you guys so that you guys can make an informed decision. This is Varun from GTR, and you're watching my in-depth comparison of the OnePlus 11 with the Google Pixel 7 to decide which flagship smartphone should you go for. Let's get started. Alright, let's start off with talking about the design here. Now the Pixel weighs in at 197 grams while the OnePlus 11 is slightly heavier at 205 grams. That being said, both the devices here are quite ergonomic and despite having huge camera bumps, don't really feel top heavy. Now one thing that I would like to highlight is that the Pixel does offer a flat display while you get a curved display on the OnePlus 11. Now, which kind of display you prefer is totally your choice, because as much as a curved display feels more modern and feels a bit smoother to use with gestures, it's also a lot more fragile, and if you do end up causing any damage to it, then it's a lot more expensive to replace as well. Also, speaking of the edges, the Pixel is a lot more thicker in comparison to the OnePlus 11. Now both the devices are made of premium materials and definitely feel quite premium in hand. Now as far as looks go, of course the Pixel looks very unique and slightly more premium, I would say. Add to that, you also get more refreshing colors, especially that lemongrass variant. That being said, on the other hand, you have the OnePlus 11 with its new hybrid camera module. Now I say hybrid because it looks like a mix of the legendary OnePlus 7T with last year's OnePlus 10 series camera module. Moving on to the haptic feedback, you get excellent haptics on both. However, one advantage that the OnePlus 11 has is that it also lets you customize those haptics as per your own liking. Now moving on, both the devices come with support for dual SIMs. That being said, the OnePlus 11 does have support for both physical SIMs, while in the case of the Pixel 7, you'll have to rely on a physical SIM and pair it with another eSIM. Other than that, there's no 3.5 headphone jack or IR blast on either devices. That being said, one area where the Pixel shines, or actually it's basically where OnePlus is lagging, like seriously, is when it comes to USB connectivity. It's 2023 and OnePlus is still offering USB 2.0 on its flagship device. I mean, that's really surprising. Lastly, we have the device protection, and of course both the devices come with Gorilla Glass Victus protection up front, but Pixel offers the same Victus protection on the back panel as well. Now OnePlus does a slight compromise by offering you Gorilla Glass 5 protection, though let's be honest, at the end of the day they're both going to get scratched equally, so I mean I don't really go by all these standards. At the end of the day, if you're really concerned about your device getting scratched, then just buy a skin or a case. Now, one advantage that the Pixel has is that it is officially IP68 rated. Unfortunately, there's no official IP rating on the OnePlus 11. That being said, of course, you do get rubber seals around the SIM tray on the OnePlus 11, so there's that. Now moving on to the display, the Pixel comes with a small 6.3-inch AMOLED 90Hz panel, while the OnePlus 11 comes with a much bigger 6.7 inches AMOLED 120Hz panel. Now both the devices are rated for HDR10+. However, in our testing, the OnePlus 11 did not support HDR playback inside the Netflix app. That being said, let's be honest, this is a very common occurrence because as reviewers, we get pre-production or review units, which are going to be very different as compared to the sales units. And OnePlus has already confirmed that the OnePlus 11 is certified for both HDR10+ as well as Dolby Vision. So rest assured, you should be getting both these features in your retail unit. Now, apart from having a bigger display, the OnePlus 11 also has a higher Quad HD resolution, while the Pixel 7 is capped at just Full HD. Also, like I already mentioned, the Pixel 7 is capped at just 90Hz, while OnePlus 11 features a LTPO 120Hz display, which basically means that your display can go as low as 1Hz and as high as 120Hz based on the content that you're consuming. Also, as far as outdoor legibility is concerned, on paper, the Pixel offers a 1400 nits of peak brightness, while the OnePlus 11 offers 1300 nits of peak brightness. However, in our testing, we apparently found the OnePlus 11 to have a higher brightness in comparison and was much more easier to use under direct sunlight. Now, I'm not saying that this is just a hardware feature because OnePlus devices, similar to Realme, Oppo, and all the other BBK devices, have this high contrast mode built into them, which basically enhances the legibility under direct sunlight. So it could be just that factor as well. But yeah, at the end of the day, the OnePlus 11 was easier to use in comparison to the Pixel 7 under direct sunlight. Also aiding the display department are the dual stereo speakers that are available on both the devices. Now both the speakers are very well refined and quite crisp. However, it's the OnePlus 11 who has the loudest speakers. I mean, honestly, it's one of the most loudest audio feedback that I've ever heard on a smartphone device. Alright, now moving along, let's talk about the cameras. Reading off the spec sheet, the Pixel comes with a 50 MP OIS primary sensor coupled with a 12 MP ultra-wide sensor. Up front, you get a 10.8 MP shooter for selfies. On the other hand, the OnePlus 11 comes with a 50 MP OIS primary sensor, a 32 MP telephoto lens for 2x crop, along with a 48 MP ultra-wide sensor. Up front, there's a 16 MP shooter for selfies. Now speaking about the camera performance, when it comes to daylight shots, OnePlus generally clicks warmer shots while Pixel goes for slightly cooler tones. OnePlus also adds a slight bit of saturation to the shots, while Pixel tends to go for these contrasty images. See, in terms of color accuracy, Pixel is slightly closer to reality, with OnePlus being more on the vibrant side. However, this also means that most folks would actually like OnePlus's shots here, since you can directly share them, whereas some manual post-processing might be needed for the Pixel 7. Also, the HDR performance is slightly better on the OnePlus 11. Now, as always, Pixel has that contrasty tone to its shot, while OnePlus focuses on enhancing the shadows better without compromising upon the highlights. See, it's not to say that the HDR of the Pixel 7 is bad or anything. I mean, it's one of the best in the game. But it just goes to showcase how improved OnePlus's camera performance is, that is not only able to match neck to neck, but is actually able to outshine one of the best camera smartphones in this segment. Moving on to human shots, Pixel has more accurate skin tones, while OnePlus tends to enhance the skin. Adding on to this, Pixel also adds more structure to the face, while OnePlus's shot looks a tad bit softer in comparison. Now moving on to the portrait mode, the edge detection is top notch on both the devices, so no complaints there. Then we have the ultra-wide shots. See, OnePlus has a wider field of view, but other than that, there aren't many differences between the two. The color profile difference is the same as we saw in the daylight shots, with OnePlus opting for a warmer shot, and that's about it. That being said, one noteworthy feature is that OnePlus actually allows you to capture ultra-wide shots as well in the full 48 MP resolution, which definitely results in far better details upon zooming in when compared to the Pixel 7. Moving on to selfies, OnePlus definitely has more details in this shot. It's also a lot more refined than its previous generations. That being said, OnePlus's results vary a lot based on the lighting conditions, and in tough conditions with the sun in the background, the phone relies heavily on software processing, and as you can see, the results are quite different from reality. Now in comparison, Pixel has better HDR here, and even in tough lighting conditions, it manages to emit consistency across its shots. Moving on to videos, the Google Pixel 7 supports a max resolution of 4K 60fps, while the OnePlus 11 can technically record in 8K 24fps as well. That being said, realistically, you would still prefer to record at a max resolution of 4K 60fps. Now the results are on your screen, and for the most part, OnePlus does a great job of keeping everything in the frame and as vibrant as possible. That being said, Pixel definitely has the edge here when it comes to stabilization. However, do let me know your thoughts on which video you like more down in the comments below. Lastly, we have low light shots, and this is a landslide victory for the OnePlus. OnePlus has better illumination along with better control over light sources, thus resulting in overall better shots. See, as far as noise control goes, yes, both the phones are at par, so no complaints there. But as an overall shot, I would easily pick the OnePlus 11 here. Alright, so next up, let's talk about the performance. Now the Google Pixel 7 comes with a Google Tensor G2 processor coupled with UFS 3.1 storage. On the other hand, you have the OnePlus 11 that features the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor. As far as storage is concerned, if you opt for the 128GB variant, you will get UFS 3.1 storage, or if you go for the maximum 256GB variant, you get the latest UFS 4.1 storage. Now just to be clear, our review unit here is the 16GB RAM 256GB storage variant, which basically means we have the UFS 4.0 variant with us. Now the benchmarks are on your screen, and as you would expect, OnePlus has far better benchmarks thanks to a newer and faster processor along with better and faster read-write storage speeds as well. See, despite all of that, as far as day-to-day usage is concerned, you won't really notice a massive difference in terms of app launch speeds. Both the devices run super smooth without any hiccups. That being said, when it comes to gaming, while the initial experience is great on both, the Pixel does start to heat up after 40 to 50 minutes of gaming, while the OnePlus definitely manages to stay cool despite extended heavy usage. Now, adding on to the performance part, we have the software segment, and of course, the Google Pixel 7 comes with the stock Android 13. In comparison, the OnePlus 11 comes with Oxygen OS 13 based on Android 13 right out of the box. Now, as you would expect, the Pixel has zero bloatware, while the OnePlus 11 has minimal bloatware. That being said, both the devices have smooth experience with no lags or any significant bugs that we could notice. Now, when it comes to the update schedule, definitely the Google Pixel has the advantage here since it gets day one software updates. That being said, that difference in the update schedule is not that massive. See, first of all, OnePlus is still claiming to offer 4 years of software updates. So while the updates will come earlier on Google Pixel, they will definitely come to the OnePlus at some point of time. Now I say some point of time because even the previous flagship, which was the OnePlus 10T, still hasn't received the full-fledged rollout of the Oxygen OS 13 update. Some devices have received it, some haven't. So I'm not super optimistic about the OnePlus 11. That being said, I am still confident in knowing that the latest Android updates will definitely come to it at some point. Lastly, we have the battery life. Now, the Google Pixel comes with a 4355 mAh battery with support for just 20 watts of charging. And of course, the charger is not included in the box. On the other hand, we have the OnePlus 11, which comes with a 5000 mAh battery, along with support for 100 watts of fast charging. And of course, the charger is included in the box. See, the OnePlus wins this round hands down. You get way better battery life, faster charging, and of course, the charger is included in the box. I mean, the only advantage that the Pixel has is that it supports wireless charging, but unless you absolutely care for it, this one has OnePlus written all over it. Which brings us to the pricing. Now, the Google Pixel 7 currently retails for about 60,000, while we are expecting the OnePlus 11 to launch at a starting price tag of about Rs 55,000. Now, I say expecting because at the time of recording, we do not know what the official price is going to be, but based on the rumors and the leaked pricing, this seems to be an educated guess. Now, at that price point, the OnePlus 11 is, well, an absolute no-brainer. I mean, what has the Pixel 7 going for it? Of course, you have a more premium brand name. You have a slightly more unique design. You get support for wireless charging. You get day one software updates. And that's it. That's literally it. That's the only advantages that the Pixel 7 has in comparison to the OnePlus 11. Like the OnePlus 11 has a bigger display, a better display, a unique design in its own way, and still premium build quality, amazing haptic feedback, still great software support, and of course it's far more refined, and you get far more features baked inside the software instead of having to install third-party apps to get the same features like you would on stock Android. Of course, the camera is not only as good as the Pixel, but even better in some scenarios. The sound is also better. The performance is, of course, way better because it's the latest trend. And of course, the Tensor G2 is not as optimized as the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 anyway. So yeah, I mean, of course, the battery life. That's a big win for the OnePlus 11 anyway. So, I mean, yeah, if you are out there in the market looking for a new flagship Android smartphone to purchase and you're torn between the OnePlus 11 and the Google Pixel 7, my vote easily goes to the OnePlus 11. Like, seriously, there's literally no second thoughts to it. My vote hands down goes to the OnePlus 11 in this comparison because I mean it when I say that this is easily the best OnePlus device that I've used in a very long time. However, is it the right choice when compared with the iQOO 11? To find the answer to that, make sure that you're subscribed to our channel because we will be doing a dedicated comparison between both the devices. In the meanwhile, if you want to save a buck and still want stock Android, make sure to check out our long-term review of the Google Pixel 6a. Till then, this is Varun from GTR and I'll see you in the next one.